So you have now completed your emergency plan for your family. How about a plan for this family member? Protect your pets during a disaster by including them in your family's emergency plan. Start by making your pet a disaster kit. Put all paperwork into a large Ziploc bag, including a picture of you and your pet, your contact information, vaccination information, and special care instructions. In addition, you should pack certain items to help your pet during the emergency. A 7-day supply of food with bowls, a travel crate, and your pet's favorite toy. Remember, shelters are the place of last resort. Your plan should include being far away from the disaster's epicenter. But if you do find yourself at the shelter, know the rules. Once at the shelter, your pet will be placed in a designated animal section. This is for your pet's safety, as well as other shelter residents. Knowing the shelter rules helps everyone stay safe during an emergency. For more information about shelters, their location, rules, and how to get ready for a disaster, go to hcfl.gov/staysafe.
Welcome to a meeting of your Hillsborough County Board of County Commissioners. Representing District 1, Harry Cohen. Representing District 2, Ken Hagan. Representing District 3, Gwen Myers. Representing District 4, Christine Miller. Representing District 5, Donna Cameron Cepeda. Representing District 6, Chris Bowles. Representing District 7, Joshua Wostel. The County Administrator is Bonnie Wise. The County Attorney is Christine Beck. Time is set aside at the beginning of each meeting for citizens to speak on any issue. So we have time for everyone. Speakers are asked to limit their comments to 3 minutes. Today's meeting is brought to you with closed captioning by Hillsborough Television.
Good morning. Welcome to the April 2nd, 2025 regularly scheduled board meeting of the Hillsborough County Board of County Commissioners. Would everyone please rise for the pledge and invocation given by our chaplain, Commissioner Gwen Myers.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Oh, gracious Heavenly Father, we thank you for the day. We thank you for all of our first responders, and we thank you for our employees who are working today to give service. I ask a special blessing for our board, that the work that is in front of us to prove your agenda, we ask that we would be on one accord. Father, I ask a special blessing also for those who are traveling to Tampa for the Final Four, that they come here and be safe and return home safely. Bless this meeting in your holy name, I pray. Amen.
Thank you, Commissioner Myers. This morning we have some very special guests that are here for our first proclamation, which will be presented by Commissioner Myers.
You should be excited. Thank you, Mr. Chair. Good morning. We have a number of distinguished guests with us today for this presentation, which I'm very excited about. Please join me at the podium when I call your name. Lynn Horstman, NCAA Vice President of Women's Basketball. Rob Higgins, Executive Director of the Tampa Bay Sports Commission. Kenyatta Harrison Bridges, Tampa Bay Downtown Partnership. And of course, these larger-than-life mascots. Come on, mascots. Come on up. First, I want to congratulate the University of South Carolina, University of Texas, University of Connecticut, and the University of California, Los Angeles for earning their way to the NCAA Women's Final Four. Let's have a round of applause. I want to commend the NCAA, the Tampa Bay Sports Commission, University of South Florida, and Amalie Arena for their tremendous effort in bringing America's premier women's basketball championship, the NCAA Women's Final Four, to the Tampa Bay for a record-setting 4th time. That deserves applause. This is a testament to the championship caliber of our community and partners and our impeccable record of putting on professional and collegiate championship events. The Women's Final Four will welcome more than 30,000 fans from all over the United States to Tampa Bay this week. More than just 3 games, the NCAA and the Tampa Bay Local Organizing Committee have partnered with community leaders and organizations to develop social programs that sets the standard and grow the game, leaving a lasting impact, impression, and legacy on our community. For all of that fantastic work, the Board of the County Commissioners and the people of Hillsborough County thank these outstanding organizations and wish them all great success. I want to welcome all the teams, their fans, and the NCAA to our community. Game on, defense win championships. Tampa Bay, it is a privilege to present this proclamation. And it reads, whereas the NCAA Division I women basketball is enjoying immense popularity in inspiring girls and young women across the United States to play basketball, and Hillsborough County is proud of its role in the history of this sensational sports. And whereas every season culminates the NCAA March Madness. Are we ready? We're almost there. One of the most exciting sports events in the world, with the team from across the nation vying for a sports in the women's Final Four, one of America's premier sports events, and a chance to win the national title early April. And whereas in 2008, the Tampa Bay hosted its first women's Final Four in what is now Amalie Arena in downtown Tampa. And yes, Tennessee rolled the title by defeating Stanford, delivering legendary coach Pat Summitt her 8th national championship. And whereas Tampa Bay hosted its second women's Final Four at Amalie Arena in 2015, with the dominance of the University of Connecticut on full display as the Huskies won their third consecutive national title by defeating Notre Dame. And whereas in 2019, Tampa Bay hosted the Women's Final Four for the third time, delivering a postseason championship game won by Baylor, 82-81. Guess who over? Notre Dame. And whereas these thrilling Women's Final Four events in Tampa Bay attracts more than 123,039 in event history than any other host community previously, including sellout crowds of 40,189 in 2019, demonstrating the passionate following of women college hoops and generating significant economic impact to the area. And whereas in 2025, this is our year, the NCAA Division I Women Basketball Final Four returns to Tampa Bay April 3rd through April 6th for a record 4th time. Let's show some love. 4th time. We're getting there. With the University of South Florida and the Tampa Bay Sports Commission hosting this prestigious event. And whereas the NCAA and the Tampa Bay Local Organization Committee have partnered with community leaders and organizations to develop social programs and set the standards and grow the game, leaving the last impact, impression, and legacy on the community. Remember, defense wins championships. Now, therefore, be it proclaimed that the Board of County Commissioners of Hillsborough County, Florida, does hereby declare April 3rd through April 6, 2025 as NCAA Women's Final Four Championship Days in Hillsborough County. Welcome the 4 teams, their fans, and all college basketball family to the community, and congratulate the host and local organization committees for their passionate support of women college basketball. Executed the second day of April 2025. Okay, for you. Oh, come on, Rob. Oh,
okay.
Come on.
Where are we
Where's the photographer? All right, get the first picture. Okay, Lynn, it's your turn, and Rob, please share your comments.
Well, thank you so much, Commissioner Myers. What she didn't include in that amazing proclamation is that tonight she's being honored by the NCAA as part of their Legends and Legacy program. So please give her a round of applause. We are so excited to have our record 4th NCAA Women's Final Four here. I'll turn it over here to our guest of honor in just a second, Lynn Holzman, but certainly our appreciation goes out to the NCAA for this amazing opportunity. This is such an awesome event. We look at it from 3 different perspectives. All mean just as much as the other ones. Economic impact, it's going to be about 30,000 visitors that come in. We think it'll generate somewhere in the neighborhood of 23,000 hotel visitor room nights. The marketing impact, hundreds and hundreds of media here. The games are naturally broadcast nationally, but so many different pregame shows. It's going to be a postcard from Tampa Bay this entire week. It already has been. The coverage that we've gotten has been amazing. And then the social impact. We have a variety of legacy initiatives that are taking place that have been going on for several months, that long after the confetti falls on the national champion on Sunday. This is an event that's going to leave a lasting impact in our community for many, many years to come. So I'll wrap up by doing two things. One is thanking the people behind me. Hillsborough County has been an unbelievable advocate ever since we started bidding on this event in 2003. Let's give a round of applause to them. And because each of these county commissioners is a big-time player, when you have big-time players, they need a big-time court. So I'm going to give them a piece of the court here for the 2025 NCAA Women's Final Four and introduce you to Lynn Holzman.
Thank you, Rob, and thank you, everyone. On behalf of the NCAA and our Women's Basketball Committee, I just want to express our gratitude. As we've heard referenced several times, Tampa Bay and with South Florida, Amalie Arena, the Tampa Bay Sport Commission, this is a record 4th time that Tampa is hosting it. When we say record, that means no other city within the United States has had the opportunity to host the Women's Final Four that many times. That is a testament to what this community has to offer and really the outpouring of support. But frankly, it's the professionalism and really what this community has to offer. As we have grown in women's basketball and we've experienced as being one of the leaders within the women's sports movement, as we have grown, Tampa Bay itself and what the Sport Commission under Rob's leadership and others have done, we have grown together. And we couldn't be more excited to be back in this community and really for everything that those within your community get the opportunity to experience over the next several days. All of our ancillary events being free to the community, and there's going to be tremendous, I know, news and media coverage and otherwise. But really, it's also the opportunity, as was referenced, for others to come from not just throughout the United States, but throughout the world to come here to Tampa Bay and really see what this community has. I've become a big fan over the years. This is the 2nd time that I've had the chance in this current position to be on this side of the microphone, if you will. And we're really excited to see Tampa Bay once again raise that bar that every city after this really has to try to find their own way to achieve, to try to outdo what Tampa Bay really does here for our Women's Final Four. The other thing is that we've talked about, it's more than just 3 games, and it really is. And we fully recognize at the NCAA, as women's sports grows, as you have the opportunity to bring major sporting events to this community, it also means in turn that we have to bring that economic impact. And really, that is why a city like Tampa Bay wants to continue to engage these major sporting events, is because what it does for your community by bringing visitors and other economic impact within. So again, just thank you for the opportunity. We are thrilled to be here again over the course of the next couple days. I've been told there's guaranteed weather. Yes. We're actually turned down a little bit. Okay. The humidity is doing crazy things for those of us from the Midwest and our hair. But just thank you for the opportunity. We're looking forward to engaging with everyone throughout the community, all your community leaders and otherwise. I do also just want to close by extending appreciation to our mascots for being here. There is something very, very special about college sports. And to have our mascots here representing our 4 universities, our 4 amazing women's basketball programs with their coaches, with their players, and what they are able to do really to continue to elevate our game and women in sports. So thank you.
Board members. Commissioner Hagan.
Yeah, thank you, Commissioner Myers. First of all, Commissioner Myers, congratulations on being recognized tonight and for bringing this forward. I can recall back when we had our first press conference, Rob, back at Amalie, back then with Leroy Selman, when we announced the first Final Four here. And Ms. Holzman, I just want to thank you for coming here for the record 4th time and for having faith in our community. And if I'm not mistaken, Rob, don't we guarantee weather as part of the bid package whenever we put it in there? So I think, once again, we delivered. But sincerely, thank you. And I say that not only as a board member here that's been engaged since the very beginning, but because all the reasons that Rob said, whether it's economic impact or the postcard impact or the social work, and not just as a county commissioner, but also as someone that's a big fan of women's sports. My sister was all SEC softball player. My daughter plays high school softball, and a few years ago I found a sophomore player from Iowa that I'm sure you're familiar with, named Caitlin Clark, and I've followed her. I've seen her play 3 times. I'm going to see her play in Dallas again this year. So thank you, really as a fan. And for so many people here locally, appreciate and enjoy the events here, whether they're attending the game or just the other events that are here. So thank you for having faith in our community. And Rob, keep up the great work, buddy. Come on.
Well, I know everyone is excited and want to watch the men, but let me tell you, the women Final Four, it's going to be awesome. Get your popcorn, get all your snacks ready Friday night, and then again Sunday. And we have an opportunity to make history because South Carolina could become, wait, mascot. You got to win the game. You got to win the game.
Easy cocky.
Yeah, you got to win the game. Got to win the game. Double second time to win a championship. Thank you all so much. Let's go take a picture with the board.
And Commissioner now Cohen.
To go after everybody in the morning. Smith, senior regional manager for the Southwest Florida Management, Mud to good morning. Is really the life count that our community takes all measures concern natural resources. The news is including with mud dedicated water supply campaigns that raise awareness for water and improved recreation. Proud this proposition declared 25 Water Conservation Month 8th through May Florida water reuse. I'm going to read the proposition, but before I want to mention Commissioner Wostel as representative. What people are necessary. Last year, we had a bit of a dip in our water, and we instituted measures to restrict residential use to once a week, and we had a very, very aggressive campaign, particularly from Hillsborough County. It was very, very successful, and in fact, we were able to conserve water. Not only did we, but once the rain, we were back to meeting. Our reservoirs are now full, and it's very, very because of the community and conservation, and it's a very important component to make always have fresh drinking water, reasonable community. It's a basic essential need of every creature. Precious. 1999, Hillsborough County joined the state of Florida, including the Southwest Management District, designating water residents save Florida's water, and where water is considered as and Hillsborough national leader recycling reuse and waste use association national symposium in Hillsborough County projects were highlighted, and Water Reuse Florida has designated May 18th through May 24th, 2025 as Florida Water Reuse Week. And whereas, in addition to encouraging Florida-friendly landscaping and its beneficial uses, Hillsborough County and the Southwest Florida Water Management District promote water conservation through a wide variety of educational efforts, community outreach, water use restrictions, agency partnerships, and funding and construction of reclaimed water systems. And whereas such conservation efforts have resulted in an overall decrease in the average daily water use per person in Hillsborough County, and whereas small steps can make a huge difference, and water conservation is as easy as installing simple water-saving devices in the home and using Florida-friendly landscaping techniques. Now, therefore, be it proclaimed that the Board of County Commissioners of Hillsborough County, Florida, does hereby declare April 2025 as Water Conservation Month and May 18th through May 24th as Florida Water Reuse Week in Hillsborough County, and calls upon all residents to promote water-saving measures and take appropriate steps to conserve and protect this vital resource. Executed the second day of April 2025. And Ms. Smith, I would like to invite you to say a few words.
Thank you so much, Commissioner. Thank you so much for having us here today. Amber Smith, I work in the Tampa Bay region as government affairs for Southwest Florida Water Management District, also known as SWIFMUD. Well, in the world of public policy is to be prepared for extreme. We certainly had that happen within the year. Also, with this Commissioner, our driest month, April is water month. To that end, we do implore to active to help conserve water, and there are water available. So Hillsborough County, as residents, as qualify for the Bay Water program, and so you can rebates back on that. Conserve water with retrofits or business industrial community grants available that those retrofits, and we would love to work with you on that. Thank you so much for having us.
Thank you very much, and I have this question for you. We'd love to take. Okay.
And 3, 2, and one more. 2, 1.
Thank you, Commissioner Cole. I know we have changed the agenda. Do that.
Thank you. I'm very excited about this one. There are actually no changes to the agenda. Certain items. The first one is at 10, item F, Chair Hayes, item I heart public service campaign services.
Have a motion. Motion. And Commissioner. Record your vote.
Seven is
On the public agenda from citizens about an issue or concern valued in members. However, at the same time, it's a board that direct board or rather the we've set aside minutes for comment this when you your name will be given. We speak Herndon, followed by Humira Abdul, and then Bonnie Hoffman. Is Ms. Herndon, please come forward.
Good morning. I'm Denise Herndon. I'm at several of these meetings over things, and it's actually helped my traumatic brain injury. I'm going to talk about stuff on the agenda, things on procurement, water. I have a septic tank, and I've lived in my home. It'll be 26 years the end of this August. And just some of the things that I have found out that I don't believe that I am not getting charged for some of these things for the city water and everything. I've gotten budgets from utility, public utilities. I've gotten stuff from the wells, and I don't see how all the money that is being supposedly generated just by the water use is paying for all of this stuff. And then I think these things on this agenda are looking like they're out of the budget for these specific things. Like, for instance, on A42, $3 million for Sheriff's Association solid waste and water resource issues. $3 million for 8 companies for engineering for water resources. The only way that DOJ can work is, I've mentioned before about check register. It's not the check register, it's the actual invoices that really tell you what those checks are costing. And we have no access to the invoices. That's not transparency. This I have from the Sheriff's Department on them, what they spend on their vehicles. This wasn't transparent at first because it didn't tell me how many buildings and how many vehicles. And I don't believe that it's only costing, what is it? I figured out $1,045 per building to have Chronister's name on 19 buildings. I can see over $77,000 on the buildings. And he has here $16.90 because he does in-house, putting his name on just the vehicles. That's not counting anything else because it's done in-house. Well, that employee gets his wage. I've been getting records, and I have no problem paying for body cams, but I'm being charged $26 or $25 an hour for
Thank you, Ms. Herndon. Appreciate your
these
comments.
body cams.
Thank you, ma'am. Humira Abdul. Is Humira here? And Bonnie Hoffman, followed by Daniel Placencia and Dr. Josh Littleton. Good morning.
Good morning. The 4 Republicans were on the wrong side of the school referendum after it was passed with bipartisan support with over 66% voters. with the help of Best Lawyers publication reminding citizens why it was urgent to vote yes, and the Tampa Bay Chamber of Directors voting unanimously to support the referendum, representing 1,100 chamber companies and 9,800 individuals, and a Tampa Bay Times published an opinion piece signed by 14 prominent leaders with names like Chalora, Sink, Vinnick. We won't forget how the four of you tried to keep the initiative off the ballot. This was abuse of power. Look up the definition: misuse of your position of authority to take advantage of another person or organization. That's exactly what you did. Interference with our democracy. You know your job. Look at it. Roads, traffic, homeless, waste management, not the school board. You tried to take our tax money for your attorney fees. And I suggest sit at the ball fields and you're going to hear white privileged moms boast about using vouchers for private schools. Many religious schools with their children would attend without these vouchers. What a scam to subsidize private religious schools. Here's a fact: voucher programs are used disproportionately by middle and upper middle income families, because many low income families with poorer zip codes do not choose vouchers because they're not in their neighborhoods. And there's additional fees for uniforms, fundraisers, and transportation. Fact: currently, Florida's #1 in book censorship, thanks to your governor. Number 47 out of SAT scores, thanks to your governor. And if the four of you care so much about the poor and the senior citizen, where's your outrage with Tampa Electric and the Duke rates going up $20 a month? You had $50,000 for attorneys, not a peep. Commissioner Cepeda, one day you won't be sitting on this board, so regarding the Sunshine Law and honest open government, here's a history lesson for you. Look up the Galleria Mall and the 1983 indictments: 5 attorneys, 7 businessmen, prison sentences for Jerry Bomer, Fred Anderson, and Joe Kotvis, and then read a biography of Jan.
Anyone here? Please come. Then you have followed by Peter. Morning, sir.
I'm Cuban Civic. My name is, and the president of the club on behalf and of the we want to give honor, gratitude, be established of the club app code with the voted in favor of that, especially and Canada with their support will help the community forward of the club. So we all of a air on. So again, heart for giving us that to support in the community.
Thank you. Virtual by Peter Horton and Sheila Simmons. On the line.
Good morning, all. Josh. Our direct agenda item 3 outline. Okay. Miller, I'm looking at. And the amendment. The landscape being what it is. Shoot, the coming. Cannot sit quietly while the community is treated political game. The demand of DeSantis, especially when those demands are at the expense of our community. It is becoming painfully clear why Commissioner Cepeda was asked to present the proposal to exempt the Board of Commissioners from sunshine laws, and it is not hard to see manipulation at play here. Here to serve the people who call this place home. Are here to serve the people who call this place home. Our autonomy as a county is something we must protect, and that means making decisions that benefit the people and not the powerful figureheads that will discard us the moment we are no longer useful. At a national level, we can already see how these cost-cutting initiatives like DOGE, driven by empty rhetoric, are harming community. We, us, are losing our focus on science, research, and equitable healthcare, which directly impacts human lives, real lives, like the patients I encounter every day. This is not abstract. This is about people's health, families, and futures. These short-sighted policies are dangerous. As a fellow Tampanian, husband, father, and mental health practitioner here in the Bay, I refuse to stand idly by while our friends, neighbors, and family members are cast aside. I will not sit, we will not sit, as vital services and nonprofits are starved, dismantled, and sold for parts. The prosperity we enjoy today is the result of hardworking individuals who use tax dollars to improve our community. We owe it to them, we owe it to the people coming behind us to stand up and protect what makes Hillsborough great. And I urge you, finally, remember who you serve, the people of Hillsborough, and don't let political games undermine our future. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Peter Hortzman, Peter here, followed by Sheila Simmons-Tribble, and then Chris Kravitz. Good morning.
Good morning. I'm Peter Horstman, a retired architect and Hillsborough County resident living in Temple Terrace. At the age of 72, I anticipated spending my retirement years traveling and catching up with old friends. Instead, I feel obligated to continue my 50-plus years of being an activist for LGBTQ rights because the sacrifices I am making are nothing compared to those that created LGBTQ rights in the first place, and those who supported them. I would like to educate you on the history of some people who deserve LGBTQ pride recognition at every level. In 1960, decades of ridicule and suppression, Stonewall Up occurred, and our civil rights began. Mark Johnson and Sylvia Rivera were transgender activists and revolutionaries, leading role in that uprising, and later street transvestite action revolutionaries known as support homeless and vulnerable individuals. Was the San Francisco successor, 1967, becoming the first openly vocal man to office. During almost 11 months in office, he based sexual orientation in public accommodations, housing, and employment that passed by a vote under one and marriage into law. On November 27, 1978, Scone were assassinated by Dan Wood, a deceased city supervisor who cast
a brighter chance for a good outcome. But let's not even talk about how it stabilizes families. Investing in the Affordable Housing Fund leverages 5 to 6 times when you're looking at state, federal, as well as funds. Now, when we think about this, it creates more business attracted to our area. We ask this housing crisis. We ask to significantly invest in the county's affordable housing fund to make Hillsborough County a better place to live and to enjoy quality of life. We ask for help, and we ask for you to act. There is hope. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am, for your comments. Last two speakers this morning, Chris Kravitz, Red Waters, which is virtual.
Good morning. I'm Chris Kravitz, serving at Waters Avenue Church and Bayshore Baptist Church. Hope, Hillsborough organization. We're a multi-faith organization, and we work for long-term solutions to community problems. You're all well aware. On behalf of 27 member congregations of Hope, up our fourth letters of invitation to our Nehemiah action that we sent out. We'd like to invite you, commissioners, to the Hope public meeting, the Nehemiah action, on Tuesday, April 8 p.m. Fellowship Church in Carrollwood. We anticipate the time to join for community residents, leadership on the issue of affordable housing. The member congregations are invested in you being there. I speak with members of both of the churches asking me questions. Have the commissioners said they're going to come? Have we heard back from Commissioner Bowles? Have we heard back from Commissioner Cepeda? They're excited. People are excited to see you there. People want to celebrate good leadership, and people want to see affordable housing. This is the largest interfaith public meeting in our county that is focused on various problems related to affordable housing. Again, not me, but we, not just the one shirts here today, but of people from across the county, from all of our congregations, are inviting you to be at the Nehemiah Action at 7 p.m. at Bible Base. We would love to have meetings so we can continue for this problem. We work to care for the quality of life for all as we take who live in our county. Thank you.
Mr. Crabbe. Last speaker this morning, Waters. Is Ms. Waters on the
Ms. Waters, can you hear us? You're unmuted. Can you hear us?
I can hear you. Can you hear me? Okay. We're done with the report. Concern is Sydney over everybody. My 5 kids wash out on the 3 times. Finally, it. That's for another one. I mean, that's our hobby. We have a lot of neighborhood. We're just kind of going on with it. They've asked for another one. You know, haven't got any response. It's pretty big. You can drive a golf. You'll never know what it is. I can never fix that. Another one we're going to do. I mean, there's another bridge in there that's messed up too, and I'm kind of concerned what's going to happen with that because, you know, we'd hate to love to use the park, but at the end, I guess that's all I say.
Thank you, Ms. Waters. And this over the county administrator to take a look. Thank you. All right, that closes the public comment portion of the agenda. Can we have a Commissioner Meyer, second. Please record your vote on the consent agenda.
Motion carried 7-0.
Okay, Bonnie, want to introduce the first item?
Thank you. The first item is item B1. This is to approve and execute the agreement with the State of Florida Department of Transportation, Hillsborough County. And this is regarding to the transportation surtax item.
Good morning.
Good morning, Assistant County Administrator. We're requesting approval of an agreement with the Florida Department of Transportation financial assistance totaling $200,500,000 tax fund. This fund provides the return of a previous transportation from the team. This will be used to resurface state-selected roads throughout Hillsborough. And adopted FY29 capital improvement to appropriate $208,501,806 in state surtax road repaving. The amendment established the road repaving surtax CIP project appropriate $208,591,800 within the state surtax. I have Josh Bellotti, engineering and operations. You may have.
All right, thank you. Commissioner Wostel.
Thank you. I want to gently remind the public that we had zero purview or authority. Roads were paved and in order in case anybody has questions. States legislation.
Kim, I know several board members, including myself, had concerns surface all the roads, not being enough money. Many of these projects are and things like, particularly myself, having concerns with these projects potentially being prioritized over our and approved. These issues been resolved to staff satisfaction? Anything?
Sure, I can. No, we for our part in the agreement, we plan to be able to execute the current budgeted projects as well. So, and the funding was specified for 2 tiers. You'll see in the agreement of the total funding amount, only of the county to complete the first tier of projects. That second tier is available if there is funding available after a requirement. So the county is not taking additional financial burden with those projects.
Okay, and I think the answer to this here on the record, you do not have any concern with these projects delaying the county's work plan or projects that we have planned.
That's correct. We continue to focus on the.
Okay. I don't see any other comments. Can we have a motion? Motion. Please.
Motion carried 7-0.
Next item.
B2, and this relates to this Temple Terrace. As you recall, Plan City's item has already been approved.
Item B2 is to Department of Transportation, Hillsborough County, and our municipal partners, the City of Tampa and Temple Terrace. These agreements will provide a combined $30,679,255 in state financial assistance. These agreements return a portion of the previously collected transportation surtax funds to be utilized for resurfacing projects selected by the state. There's no financial impact to the county. Each municipality will receive its funding allocation directly from FDOT.
Okay.
Move approval.
Motion, Commissioner Cohen.
Second.
Second, Commissioner Myers. Please record your vote on B2.
Good. 7-0.
Thank you.
Thank
Bonnie?
you. And I'd really like to thank staff and FDOT because this was a major undertaking and clarifying some Hagen about and getting that in, and appreciate the work of the as well. B3, adopt a resolution relating to the Key Civic Club funding and
John Mueller, Director of Management Real Estate Services. We are bringing forth the Civic Club. In country Rail Drive, as you can slide. The club has been at this property since the early 70s, and the indoor facilities are in renovations. This agreement would pay $50,000 to install fire sprinkler system up, some other related renovations at their building. Currently, their capacity is limited to 300 due to fire funding is done and the upgrades are done. They'll be able to host safely events larger up to 1,000. This will allow them to expand their programming, create new opportunities, financial stability through increased particular item consistent with the policy out to county standards by inspecting before any payments are made. I want to please note 2 items in the a payment in lieu of reimbursement work completed in 4 stages. Submit the invoice, at which time we will verify on-site the work and then pay the funds within 7 days of contract documentation on the payment. And IRS financial. Noted Danielle Placenci, Denia Sellers, the of your consideration agenda for any questions.
Thank you. Commissioner Cameron Cepeda.
Yes, thank you. I would like to take a moment to recognize and for their long-standing service to our community. They not only preserve the rich cultural heritage of support and compassion, but the building is more than a facility. It is a symbol of resilience, unity, and generosity, and I'm honored for critical improvements, including the installation of fire essential repairs. These improvements will help ensure the Cuban Civic Club to serve generations to come for their service to the community, and I wish the organization to deserve success for many years to come. And make a motion for.
Cepeda, second. Commissioner Cohen.
Mr. Chair, I'd like to our colleague, Commissioner Cameron Cepeda. This flag that actually was partially by from Cameron Cepeda and from me. There is some precedent for doing that. Commissioner did that on the Veterans Memorial Park. And what I want to something I think we both independently unique situation in the community that we could help with, and I'm just glad that we were able to put together with the cooperation of the administration. It's extremely appreciate that. So thank you.
Yes, say avoid events out there at the club, quite fantastic. And speaking of the policy in this particular, not going to set up a precedent for ask for that favor, because I think it's really important. Interesting habit of doing that, and I was just wondering how many times, if you're a administrator, if you're aware if this has been done, and if it really puts us in a as we will.
I think we have done this too many times, which is why we bring it to your attention, because we think generally we reimburse is a better process, but in this they have the funds or the financial to do it that way. So we work with the to make sure we could come up with something that was contractors paid quickly. So that's why we mentioned it, because it is in a particular instance.
To answer the second part of your question, could it happen? I don't want to set precedent by any means. In the club are very much a graduation. There's a minimal paid staff. Upon financial review, we're definitely look at what the situation is, and also, in the case these individuals are contributing a lot of equity in this, so particular item and what they're doing, recommend that, so that we can. I think also, Commissioner, it keeps our control. We want that spent appropriately, and so it'll be through all the phases.
I agree. I think this full potential to expand what they can do and do, but I just that could be a possible issue.
Yeah, and I want to just thank staff for working hard on this. So I think it was challenging with a creative way to we could support the goals of Commissioner Cameron Cepeda. And please record your vote.
Thank you.
Thanks, John.
Two before the clock. Commissioner, this is your item regarding the elapsed any selection of the
17 of former Commissioner White. This award has become a meaningful celebration of those who themselves to conservation. This year, I'm pleased to bring nominee Flannery for his contribution to environmental preservation. I look forward to recognizing his impact on the community and these recommendations.
All right, got a motion by Commissioner. I don't see anyone else in the queue. Please.
Motion carried.
Next item.
I'll speak a little slowly. Our next item is the 10 o'clock item. This is to discuss regarding the donation service campaign focused on Hillsborough.
Okay, thank you. Relatively quick. With my heart or audio powerhouse with 870 across 160 markets, including 9 in our market. Throughout the year, I have announcements that we would like to disseminate. Over the years, I've established a close relationship with many of the folks over there. And one day I was at their office, and my friend Jeff Liss, who works there, said they were interested in partnering with Hillsborough County in order to provide / donate public service announcements. It's my impression they used to do more of this years ago, and Jeff wants to move a little bit more in that direction and to do more things. What's going on in Tampa Bay? Donate. Jeff messages for the emergency management forwarded. They run the real quick.
Parks Recreation Centers and present in Hillsborough County, or take a hike. Visit hcfl.gov to learn. At the Hillsborough County, nothing makes us happier than helping find from cats to patients. Animals are available for adoption every day at the shelter. Visit hcfl.gov.
So those are just a couple examples they came up. Very appropriate, very. Say a few words, correct if I misspoke. Just appreciate you being here.
You got program at the community on audio, and of that, almost 70% is with an FM. According to iHeart's 9 local stations, 0.8 over. So kind of knowing and our relationship with Commissioner Hagan made it easy to come to the decision to this program for Hillsborough County. Just made a good step towards our goal of
Jeff, iHeart monthly, whatever we decide that we want to use it for, it's at a discretion. I think for purposes of a motion, like to be included in public service. Short and sweet.
Record your vote.
Motion carried 7-0.
Jeff.
Name, please. Thank
Good. Thank you. The next item is item F3. Commissioner Miller, your item regarding participation in the EOG DOJ team process.
Thank you. I'd like to make some short introductory remarks before getting into my formal motion. Recently, there was significant, and I believe intentional and perhaps reckless, misinformation shared with the public about both this board and my own position on protecting taxpayer dollars following the recent board meeting on March 5th. So please let me be completely clear on this point. Guarding against unwise spending and unnecessary waste is of the highest importance to me. Further, I wholeheartedly support the governor's efforts in this regard, generally referred to as DOJ. And I am confident that Hillsborough County will cooperate to the fullest. In fact, during the March 5th meeting, I did not, nor did any member of this board other than Commissioner Wustel, even dispute that close attention to spending taxpayer dollars is one, if not the highest priority. Rather, it was a simple process discussion, and the majority of the BOCC declined to support Commissioner Wustel as the sole point of contact on DOJ efforts. Frankly, in my opinion, a sole point of contact is antithesis of what this entire board is elected to do on behalf of the citizens of Hillsborough County. Further, both the governor's office and Hillsborough County staff are well educated and experienced and are more than capable of keeping their respective leadership informed, updated, and involved. All that said, I do think that the board should have some additional professional citizen input, counsel, and advice. I've called it the DOJ Liaison Advisory Committee. The highlights of my approach are as follows. Working with the county administrator, I suggest a 5-citizen member approved majority of the vote. I suggest 5 citizen members approved by the majority of the board. Of course, this board has a history with these types of committees and would follow this well-established protocol. Each member shall be a resident of the register and a registered voter in Hillsborough County. And additionally, each member shall also possess at least one of the following educational and professional credentials: accountant, economist, finance, certified auditor, IT, or human resource professional. The liaison committee would meet at least once a month for 1 year, beginning after the initiation of the state EOG DOJ team engagement with Hillsborough County. The liaison committee may only be extended by a majority vote of the board. The liaison committee will provide written updates monthly with a final report and conclusion of its work. And with that, I will summarize the formal motion that's in the agenda as follows. 1, I authorize the chair to sign a letter in the form presented to the governor on behalf of the board, committing the county to fully and transparently participate in the EOG DOJ team process as clearly created by the Executive Order 2544. 2, approve the resolution of the board supporting the EOG DOJ team effort and committing Hillsborough County to collaborate with the EOG DOJ team and direct the county administrator to transmit the resolution to the governor. And finally, approve the creation of the Hillsborough DOJ Liaison Advisory Committee as presented.
Was that a motion?
It was a motion.
Okay. Do we have a second?
Second.
A second by Commissioner Myers. Commissioner Cameron Cepeda.
Yes, thank you. I would like to begin by expressing my appreciation that our board is committing to fully and transparently participating in the EOG team process. I fully support that direction. However, I respectfully request that the language in this agenda item be amended to remove the phrases "any amended executive order" and "any related executive order." While I support transparency and collaboration, I believe it's important that our commitments remain specific to the current process and not extend to undefined or future executive actions. Additionally, I would like to address the portion of the item related to the creation of an advisory board as currently written. The item proposes that the advisory board is comprised of 5 members selected by a majority of the Board of County Commissioners, and I believe this raises a question of representation and process, given that we have 7 commissioners on our board, I recommend that each commissioner be allowed to nominate 1 advisory board member, resulting in a 7-member advisory board that reflects the full diversity and voice of our commission. This approach would ensure all districts are represented and would enhance public trust in the advisory board's work. I respectfully submit this and would make a motion also to have those words removed, and also for the number of the board members on the advisory board.
All right, so that's a motion, an amendment to the motion on both removing the executive order and a language, as well as the 7-member, changing the 5-member to 7-member with each commissioner making a nomination.
Yes. Those phrases, any amendment?
I believe that honesty and transparency is a fleeting quality in society. I believe that you're somebody that does appreciate those things. But you said that you don't like sole member representatives to groups, right? Because that's the main problem. You don't like sole representatives. During this comment, I've actually been trying for months to get the county administrator to provide me some information about us in our past of appointing sole representatives. I pointed out that I had found out in a different conversation that Commissioner Hagan is currently a sole representative. I thought it was from 7 years ago. County administrator wouldn't provide me what I was asking for. I did finding it. It's actually from 2014, October the 1st, 2014. Our county administrator has been operating behind the scenes on an old vote from 10 years ago, appointing solely 1 commissioner to represent negotiations of all of the raise deals. We didn't know that was happening. He wasn't even in that seat. Actually, I've talked to an attorney. He was not even District 2, he was District 5, so if a lawsuit were to occur, a reasonable argument could be made that Commissioner Cepeda would be filling this role as the sole negotiator of all of the Tampa raise deals. So are you willing to commit that you're going to rescind this 2014 sole representation appointment of Commissioner Hagan to negotiate the raise deals and make it to be this board as a whole or a subcommittee?
I would have to get more information on it before I would commit to that, but my request is not related to that, sir. My request is saying that we as a unified body are committing to the governor that we are going to support full transparency as related to the budget.
Yeah, but you said that your reason for voting no was because it was about a sole representation, and that's what was reckless about it, which is really not, because whatever we do in no matter what regard, Commissioner Cohen has said that we can all participate however we want. We're the ones that are vetted by the voters and approved to be here. We can interact with the Doge team when they get here however we want. Could have done so before. Sole representative is just the person that we're designating to do the bulk of the work. Sole representation at THEA, sole representation at the port, sole representation at the aviation authority. That's what we're doing, is we're designating and volunteering 1 person to do the majority of the work, but we can interact with those bodies and they'll work with us and get us whatever information they want, no different than doing Doge. So again, I'll ask, if the issue is sole representations, are we going to go back, if that was truly the issue, and remove this policy from 2014 from a commissioner that is no longer even in the seat of which he was originally appointed, and which none of this board knew was even happening except for 1 person in the county administrator?
Asked and answered.
So the answer is that the sole representation is not the real reason that we voted no. There's nothing reckless about it. We can all interact with the Doge team. As long as we get Doge, once they get in here, I'm going to be able to coordinate with them however I want, just like any of you are. I do think, though, that...
I changed my mind to vote. I do see that not the board appoint 1 person, but that we do ask for the applications to come in, and we review those. I can support that.
It would be under the standard process, which is
Right.
the applications goes through the office, and then we would vote in the normal fashion.
And then my last question to County Administrator Wise, but I'm not putting you on the spot, but you and your team, we can work with what Commissioner Miller is bringing forth. I just want to be sure.
Yes, staff work closely with Commissioner Miller and with her concept and the information that she had, and we are comfortable with this item.
Okay, a couple comments, and then we're going to vote. First of all, Commissioner Miller, thank you for your leadership on this issue, and more importantly, your thoughtful approach to the best way for Hillsborough County to engage with the DOJ team. I think, like you, I did not like the way the previous item was presented, particularly the part about any commissioner being the single point of contact. To your credit in preparing this item, you clearly took your time, engaged with staff who are familiar with audits and engaging with state and federal official model that we've successfully utilized in the past. The goal should be to prepare the most effective and transparent manner to engage in this critically important issue. And in my opinion, you brought forward the ideal way to accomplish this. So I do support the motion. I do not support the amended motion by Commissioner Cameron Cepeda. And with respect to a couple of comments Commissioner Wilstel made, I don't think he's accurately describing how his agenda item was presented. It wasn't for sole representative, it was to be a single point of contact. And I think that's what some of us had issues with.
Parliamentary inquiry?
No.
Parliamentary inquiry? I don't need your approval for that. My motion was to accept the amended changes from Commissioner Bowles from single point of contact to be the sole representative. Can we confirm that from the clerk, please? That was the motion that was voted down.
You mean from last meeting?
That's right.
Oh, we can look it up, but I won't be able to.
Yeah, if we can please clear that miscommunication up from the chair.
Okay, thank you. So not only did he misrepresent the way that was handled, he's also misrepresented my involvement with the raise. I'm going to say this one last time, and I'm not going to say it again. I'm not the single point of contact. I'm not the sole representative, and I do not negotiate with the raise. It is a team. I am one member. No one is more knowledgeable on this issue than me. Commissioner Wallstall can bring this up every meeting if he wants to. I'm not going anywhere. Okay, so with that, we got a motion by Commissioner Cameron Cepeda, second by Commissioner Bowles. This is on the amended motion. Please record your vote.
Thank you.
Again, this is on the amendment.
Motion failed 1 to 6. Commissioner Bowles, Miller, Cohen, Hagan, Myers, and Wostel voted no.
Okay, now to the original motion by Commissioner Cameron, Commissioner Miller, and who seconded the motion? Commissioner Myers. Okay. Okay, we have a motion and a second on the original motion. Please record your vote.
Motion carried 6 to 1. Commissioner Cohen voted no.
Okay. Excellent discussion. Bonnie, next item.
The next item is item G1. This is to receive a report regarding the widening of Van Dyke Road. And Josh Bellotti would take us through this item, as well as G2 regarding Lithia Pinecrest Road.
Morning, Josh.
Okay. Good morning, Commissioners. Josh Bellotti, Engineering and Operations. After our previous staff report on February 19th, the board requested that staff come back with a proposed plan to fund and continue efforts into the next phases of the Van Dyke Road widening project. So this brief update will highlight staff's proposed budget plan, the overall approach for completing the remaining phases of the project, and the near-term steps moving forward. First, I'll provide an update on the overall estimated project costs. As you'll recall, the Project Development and Environment, or PD&E study, previously completed in 2020, is currently being updated. During the course of this update, the previous cost estimates have been revised for the right-of-way acquisition and the construction phases. So we're now showing a remaining budget need of $45 million for land acquisition and $60 million for the construction. The primary source of funding will be the new community investment tax, and we'll be able to start budgeting that in fiscal year 27. We also have the ability to leverage some mobility fee dollars in the near term in FY26, and I'll get into the specifics on that on the next slide with the budget plan. So as we looked at putting together a budget plan for this project, one thing that we wanted to be conscious of and very deliberate about is the projected spend plan. The goal is to try and budget the funds at the time they will be needed based on the progress of the project. It's sort of a just-in-time funding approach that avoids having large dollar amounts sitting in the CIP for several years before they're utilized. So with the current phases of the project, the PD&E update as well as a 60% design, both planned for completion towards the end of this fiscal year, the project will be ready to move into the land acquisition phase in FY26. Staff is proposing to utilize available mobility fee funds from this benefit zone for this purpose. And this is a smaller dollar amount by comparison, because in the first year of the land acquisition phase, the anticipated budget need is only for voluntary acquisitions, which are typically a small percentage of the overall right-of-way acquisition. The bulk of the land acquisition budget need will be in the subsequent years due to the time required to complete that process, which, as we went over in the previous staff report, is expected to take several years. So the new CIT becomes the primary funding source from FY27 and on. And with the anticipated completion of the land acquisition phase, the construction funding is proposed to be budgeted for FY29 in order to procure and award a construction contract. So with that budget plan in place, the project will continue to move forward. As I mentioned before, the next steps in the process are completion of both the PD&E study, and that includes a final public meeting currently targeted for June, as well as the preliminary design. And that puts us into the position of initiating the land acquisition phase in FY26, beginning, again, as I mentioned, with the focus on completing those voluntary acquisitions first. And that concludes my update, and I'll, of course, be happy to answer any questions that you might have.
Thank you, Josh. Just a couple of comments. I'm the one that asked for this report. First of all, thank you for the work. I think excellent report, excellent plan. However, I will say a little sticker shock with a $20 million increase in 2 months for the project cost, so I probably won't ask for another report anytime soon. But that being said, I know FDOT, I guess, has delayed scheduling the public meeting for a month or so, and I don't disagree with the just-in-time plan. Obviously, we don't want to have dollars just sitting around not doing anything. However, I also don't want to get into a situation where we have land acquisition opportunities, but we have to wait to the next funding year in order for the funding to be available through the CIT. So again, the goal here is to accelerate where we can, not only this project, but also Lithia Pinecrest. I just want to make sure that we don't get into that situation, actually, with both of the projects. So there's no concern from staff at this point?
The thought process there, we share the same concern, and we don't want to be in that situation either. What we're trying to do with the budget plan here is be flexible, and I think there is sufficient flexibility if a land acquisition, I'll say that again. If a land acquisition opportunity presents itself earlier, we always have the opportunity to come back with a mid-year budget amendment to ensure that we have funds available to complete that transaction. So we will continue to have that flexibility to keep the project moving.
Yeah, if we can just please keep our eye on the ball for those opportunities. So
yes, sir, absolutely.
With both projects. Okay, great. Can we just have a motion to accept the report?
Move for approval.
Second. Motion, Commissioner Myers, second, Commissioner Cohen. Please record your vote.
Motion carried, 7-0.
All right. G2. Now you and your staff put in a lot of work on this, and I know the board very much appreciates it. Can we have a motion to accept the report?
Move for approval.
Motion, Commissioner Myers, second, Commissioner Bowles. Please record your vote.
Motion carried, 7-0.
Thanks. Bonnie?
Thank you. We're just at future discussion items.
Fantastic event to go to, and I think you guys knocked it out of the park. I just wanted to actually recognize you and your came out there to support what they do, and really they are the that goes along.
So take the photos. behalf of the staff.
Appreciate the boy. And with that, I don't see anyone else in the queue, so we're adjourned.